surrounding me. I got a hope that gives me joy in my suffering. Greetings, family. Hey, it's me, Dr. Felicia and Hill, coming before you all live on your Motivational Monday. I miss you all. Thank you so much, Sister Cheryl, for tuning in. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, so I'm just going to play just a little bit of music until just to give to those time and the notifications to pop up, because I'm just thankful that I was able to make it in to see you all for this Motivational Monday. And so I pray that you all weekends, that you made it through. Yes, I see it finally popped up. So it's good. So I'll give a little time and play just a little music until different ones come through. Try to implement this a little bit more for our Motivational Monday with me. Yours truly, Dr. Shelton. Peace, love, and all of the health and wellness blessings unto you all on this day. Please like and share as you all come in. For those of y'all that didn't, even if you forget and you want to do it towards the end or go back in, please like and share. That helps for more to be able to get this good motivational speech in and spiritual and very, very down to earth, like I put into our chat. I do want to start off right away, letting you all know that, yes, it is official that I will be taking in. This is the last week for your health consultations. Just in case those have forgotten, I have to put that in there for Motivational Monday. For those of you all who don't know, because I get asked all the time, do I just teach health and wellness, or just motivational for those of you all that catch different blinks? Well, yes, I teach and I counsel and coach for a healing session from the mind, body, and soul, the spiritual, natural means, relationships, and all. And so that for its health and wellness, it will be until further notice September. Until September. So you all can still call in to the number that's in the chat, the 618-388-8100 number for your consultation, even if you need to just schedule in for one for the summer, that's fine too. So I didn't want to have anyone feeling like they was left out. And for those who all that already are regular followers and supporters, then I am still making an exception for family and close friends. Okay. And this way, this gives me time enough to continue to do the work and groundwork and be able to fully focus on the new projects that I have going on here in the community and that I want to share with you all. And I'm acquiring as of today for you all to see what we're doing as far as the growth of food and things of that nature. We see everybody else doing it in other places all over and in other countries. That's easy when you have a lot of sun. It's easy to grow food and do this. But as we know, those of us that's here in the United States of America, it is more challenging. And this is the reason why I am solely so sold on the fact that we most definitely need the most help at this time, because we're in a place to where it's very, very difficult to grow good, healthy food. So I have to throw that in for Motivational Monday before I get into the heart of Motivational Monday, because this is the time in the season, you all, and I didn't want that to get by. So I pray everyone has been doing well so far. Yes, it was crazy hot out here. Excuse me. Oh my God, I had it time. I had my grandson Kareem, and I just had to return that 4.5-year-old that is still once again giving me a run for everything, not just money, but for everything. But it's good for me. It is good for me that I'm able to exercise. I'm so thankful that at 49 years young, that I was able to keep up with a 4.5-year-old, and he is my only grandchild. And only grandson that I have. And so, yes, the times that I have that I'm able to cherish with him, I'm thankful to have it. And so if I seem a little smug or a little hot, then that's what it is, you all. It's not just the air quality. It is most definitely the fact that, I just had to come from a water park. And it's not often that I get a chance to do that on a Monday. It's not often at all. So, Yeah, and then it rained a lot here due to the weather. So I do want to encourage one another and send out special requests and prayers for those of you all that are in different states and around the country. Yes, I have gotten the memo of all of the different strange weather that the Bible speaks of, you all, for those who believe it. But now, you don't have to be so much of a believer because now you see it. Unless you're one that likes to ignore what you see and say that I can't believe it anyway, even though you see all of this strange weather that's taking place. But that's the first time that I've heard of it that prepped my mental and my spirit for weather all over it. I stated no one was safe in this time. And so this is the reason why Motivational Mondays and good talks and chats are very necessary in a time like this, because it brings about a lot of stress and anxiety amongst our people, amongst everyone around the world. And as we know, everyone does not handle stress and change, even when it's nature having its way, even when it's God allowing a wake up call to a lot of us that are in these different areas. We see what's going on in Israel. We see what's going on as far as the so-called, what we call the stars. I call them the fallen angels in the sense of their spirits, because a lot of them were probably destined to do a lot of great things, and prayerfully they still can. But unfortunately, not without the lessons of life being taught that the love of money and fame is the root to all evil. When it comes down to you loving that more than you do God and your family, and just doing the right thing, you all. And so I like to encourage you all to, for those of you all that's been down that road or maybe know of someone, and then for those who are like myself, I'm catching glimpses of it, but I can't overly indulge for hours in and hours out trying to get pieces to share with you all just for ratings, because uh, I'm one of those people that I most definitely believe in the power of prayer still in my life. I know, different ones tune in from time to time and they see, they know my background, the Pentecostal, apostolic church girl, parents. My father, my biological dad, was deacon, very handy man within the church. My mother, missionary, very, very active missionary, and just a very supportive woman that later became a first lady, and my step-up dad pastor. And so that put me in a bracket of what we call a quote unquote PK kid, even though I've carried this for the last 20 years of watching the woes of the spiritual side of things. But also I noticed that there is more of us on the outside of the quote unquote churches and organizations. And so I believe in the scriptures that stated that we were supposed to go out amongst the building and to gather our people from the hedges and the highways, not necessarily trying to get a building, because it's within the building. We notice that a lot of times we feel like we're so covered to be caught up, and it becomes a hideout place, unfortunately, an entertainment place, but then also a hideout place so that we can come in and kind of like treat it like the hospital, or as I like to call it, the house pitiful, where you're able to come in and then it's all different type of things going on behind closed doors. And so that is one of the reasons why I believe that God has blessed me to be able to have the opportunity, no matter how hard and how difficult it was to have to lose loved ones, a mother, my daughter, failed marriages and all of that, just to get to this place to where I'm 100% solely relying on God and the good souls that have good intentions, that are not coming to me to take advantage of me in any type of negative way, but that to get to this place at 49, about to approach 50, preferably in a more even at another level of growth and understanding in life, that he blessed me to be able to get to this place where I'm able to feel comfortable enough to finally share with you all why I am so motivated, why this is important for me to share and prayerfully help someone else that may be going through. Because as we know, we, especially as melanated people, have gotten so used to not being able to have anyone to speak to outside of pastor or uncle or auntie, and That's good if you're getting some good wise counseling. I know I received a lot, but sometimes we need more. And there is a scripture that speaks of that. I have to go into there when it says seek much wise counseling, not just in one place, because as we know, all of us have different, if you think about it, we all have different experiences and different lessons that we've learned. So that means that if we're trying to be a help one to another, that means that sometimes you can only get a certain type of help in this direction, wherewith someone else may have other knowledge and wisdom that they can share with you in another area that you may need help in. Well, all praises be to God. I'm in a place to where I like to, where He has finally helped me to make sense out of over 15 years ago, or almost 15 years ago, when He showed me a fast forward glimpse of my life. And I was going through a major transition at that time, coming out of my first marriage, and then had me and my 4 children. And I was asking God basically why. I was in a situation to where the word was not kept for some things that I was that was legally supposed to have been done. And so it put me in an awkward position that I had never been in with my children. And I'm speaking in this way because some things you all have to save for my book that I'm working on. And so that way you all be like, oh, wait a minute, I heard all that before. No, you have not. 365 days in a year, you have not heard all of it. And I will not be able to probably ever share all of it because it may not be the wisest thing to do. But for those who I can tell and the things that I believe that God will allow me to share, I am going to share it to inspire, preferably inspire as many people that will get their hands on it when my book comes out, because I know that it's going to be one that I can see it. That it's going to be one that's going to touch many souls and help deliver a lot of people, because it's so easy today to write a cookbook. It's so easy to do all these other things that attacks other people. But when it comes down to our own personal life and using your testimony to help someone to overcome, that's different. Has a different kind of impact, a more powerful impact on our people, because we live in a place to where glitz and glams and having on nice clothes and suits and having a voice to speak and a voice to sing and entertain, meaning this facade. And it's not until the sheets are pulled back to the cover. So, where you can see, it's kind of like, you ever went to the beach and you see the seashell, and a lot of times the children, go play, and even some adults, you think that the shell is just a pretty shell. You don't know that it's alive. It's an actual live seashell in there. It's a actually being that's in there that God created. And you turn on and go, ugh, because it looks so slimy to a lot of us. And we're like, oh my goodness. But then you got those that have hatched, right? And it's just the shell. Well, I see that this is where we are living at, especially on social media, where you get a lot of the shell, the cover, you get the picture. Yeah, you get the picture. And I'm not one that really likes just focusing on the cover and the picture. And I know some are very aware that I love fashion and design, seamstress, and that was one of my greatest hobbies that I had some years ago, and I'm going to pick it back up again because it started that off very early. So I'm not knocking the cover. The cover is good. It draws us in. But then it's what's within. It's the making of the material. It's the making of us that is more fascinating, and that actually helps others to learn how to make it. Did you catch that? Yeah, that just came off the top of my head right then and there. It's more interesting and more helpful to show people how to make it, not just flashing the cover, not just looking pretty, not just looking fly, not just looking like I'm God's child. Show me how you became God's child. Show me what you do. And some of y'all like to say, show me what you're working with. And I don't mean the other working with. I mean, show me how you became this overcomer. Show me how you became this great inspirational person. Show me how you became this holy one. Show me how you became so wholesome. Show me how you became so healthy-minded, even in the midst of adversity. And my God, have not had my fair share of adversity. But I learned when it comes to mine, and because it's so much that took place, I've got to a place to where now I say, okay, now you have to practice what you teach. And it's like for every what we call negative thought, even though it's a real thought, even though it's a real trauma, even though it's a real experience, and I know some of you all have experienced this, you still have to intentionally think of just how much worse things could have been in order to help you to get over, to think over again about just how blessed you are to be able to be in a place to where you overcame. Now I know that's a lot. It's like, yeah, we say that all the time. But Dr. Chef, still, that's in my dreams. I have it in my dreams. I have this thought every other 5 seconds. Well, that means that you have to intentionally place another positive thought there. Another positive thought. Because do you know, I'm a firm believer, and I didn't read this in a book, that person, and this doesn't mean that I believe that we all should run out there raising our hands about, so try me, test me. This is not sports. I'm faster. I could take the biggest tackle. I could take the hardest tackle. I could take the hardest punch. No, that's not what that means. That simply means that I believe that you are the most strongest. You are the one that God is the most with when you have gone through the fire and gone through the rain. And it's not to knock anyone that's been in the military or that's taken on hard, challenging jobs, but it's not even the same as you signing up, deliberately going after something that you sign up for because you believe you're gonna get a check. It's not even like that. Even though we know you don't know until you get behind there. And I have enough family members, and I've been around enough that has explained to me exactly how this has gone down, how tough it has been for some. Then I come across plenty others that said, oh, well, no, it was, no, I ain't had no problems. I mean, they was down with it. They was ready for the battle. They was ready. They feel so good that they made it in with their friend, that they was really ready to do whatever United States of America had, whatever assignment they had in the military. Yeah, life is not like that though. And I've had to tell an individual that this past few years, you have to come back to the civilians. You got to come back down to earth here. Everybody, all of us are not made up. Most of us are not made up to just take lickings and just to keep on taking. Most of us are not, especially not the unexpected ones, And so that's noteworthy to share how you overcome. And I say it all the time, you all. I say the key to me being able to get to this place after all of the loved ones that I've lost, after the relationships, after the business deals that was not really the best for me, prayer, relationship with God. And I know y'all hear it all the time because it's true. That's the truth that we have to get to. You have to get to it. There are very few of us can say that I got all of this confidence in myself and that it's just myself, that I'm like, yeah, it's going to take yourself to find, to acknowledge where your strength lie. Like Samson, to acknowledge, Samson knew that it relied in his strength in his hair. And so I like to ask, just pose the question, where do your strength lie? You don't have to share it. You don't have to tell it to me. But, and then you guard that. You protect that. You pray. You meditate. Whatever it takes for you to get focused. Ooh, I got back in. That's thunderstorm, y'all. Boy, we're going to do some real warming up because we get a lot of rain during this time, and it is unusual. And I know because, as you all know, this is my season. And I want to say, happy belated spiritual DNA birthday to my grandfather, Roy Wallace, the third. He is long gone. He was Air Force Special Ops, very smart and intelligent man. June the 1st was my grandfather's birthday, my father's father. And happy birthday and happy born day, Earth Day to all of our June babies. I want to get us in June kings and queens because we was definitely innovators and ones that think outside of the box and very talented people. But most definitely, I know how much the adversary be after you all because of your heart. I know. Because some most can't understand the facet mind, the complexity of the mind, being able to think on all four hemispheres, not two, four, and having that type of wisdom and being able to see beyond what's my that takes a lot. Um, Very similar to the May babies. And I have been forced to have to learn this about our people because of the years of counseling and coaching and mentoring. Um, Beforehand, I didn't think much of it, but there is something in the season, you all. Just like in this season, this is how we know when something is abnormal. Is when it's raining, when it's usually hot and nice and sunny on the first week of June. Think about it. And so I've heard about these rumors, but I'm going back to even with the natural disasters that's taking place around the world, um, you have to be built for it. You have to be willing to accept change is going to come. And we have to be able to accept that we don't control everything. And I believe that's one of the key components, the key things that really will help us not to freak out, as they say, or lose our minds when we can't fully control something, even though there is a very spiritual, well known practice that when people pray and get in the same mindset, and some call it mystical, some of you all call it other type of, I know, but it is real. I've lived a life where I've been in the midst of prayer around multiple of my brothers and my sisters and my elders and seeing nature and God change some things. So I know it's real. I don't have to read that in the book. And that's the reason why it's so important, you all. They all thank you so much for the 100 Tasha Williams. Thank you so much. Greetings to you all that's tuning in. Please like and share. Like and share. That helps to get the word spread. I know um, that there's power in us connecting, being on one accord. That if, for instance, if we all said, look, me and my family and my neighborhood is going to be safe. We are covered. We are covered by God, by the grace of God. And every household get on that plane. I don't care if you got to send out a letter and post it on the wall. Some disaster's coming. In this set time on this day, let's pray. You see a change to take place in your neighborhood. You see a change would take place and you place it on the desk of different ones as your job. And this is God just leading me. The Spirit of the Holy Spirit just leading me to share this with you all. Place it on your co-workers spot there. Let's pray that this, that, and other. You don't have to go to them personally. They don't have to even know that you wrote it. But just the fact that they saw it and you made it into their minds. They may not say nothing to you. They may even claim to be an atheist. But who knows? They know what's good, though. They know, we as people know what's a good thing and what's not. And before you know it, everybody being like-minded. And here it is, come noon, we all are praying that we be covered from the tornadoes. We're praying that we're covered from the floods. And because of the vibration and the spirit of everyone getting on a one accord, that tornado passes your town. Guess what? It's happening all the time. That's the reason why I'm here, and the reason why you all are able to tune in, because it clearly passed over you. And none of us know who all was praying or who all was pleading with Mother Nature. See, I have to see, I don't mind splitting up, how I speak, because it's important that we speak to where everyone can understand. It's one thing to be religious and spiritual, but it's another thing to be so much that to where you turn out to be no earthly good. And I mean that in the sense to where you miss those who were not raised in a religious aspect or in a spiritual place, because, and even though the word could be given to them, it's not like they can't understand if we explain it right. And anyone that knows me, they know I've always been this way. I didn't just get this way because of social media or because someone decides to send in a cash shop and to pay me. I've been like this all my little life. And this is one of the reasons why I know that God has blessed me to be able to make it through storms, make it through the rain, not just because I'm born in a season where we're getting the last bout of a lot of rain and storm, but because of the fact that somebody prayed for me, had me on their mind, took the time to pray for me. It's an old song that the mothers used to sing. And I'm doing the same for you all that tune in. Don't think for 1 second that I'm not. I don't go a day. I don't go not even a minute. Yes, I can boldly say that I can't go a minute without thinking about everyone that is tuned in on social media and everyone that I meet on a daily basis, and where they are in their life, in their spiritual walk, where they are as far as their relationship with their family. I think about stuff like that. I just believe that that's just something that God gives the mothers of the universe, the mother, as they say, the mothers of this world, that heart and that mind and that spirit. And yes, it helps to have it does help to know that I had a mother and a grandmother and a great grandmother and a great great grandmother that operated on both sides of my family. Um, and so I know that's been passed down in my spirit and in my DNA. And so I'm obligated, and I say this all the time too, I'm obligated to give it right back, because that's what life is about. We live in a time now where we're waiting for what they call watermelon seeds, and because it's the seeded watermelons, and they're saying that, we not gonna have no more seeded watermelons soon. I said the devil is a lie and ain't no truth. I said it's a lie and ain't no truth in them. We're going to have some seeded fruit, and even if it get drought, y'all, good news. I just came back from Urban League and going to I can't tell it all, but we got some projects going. We got some things going. And so I need for you all to pray that God placed me right there in the right position where I'm able to share it with you all, so you all can take up the knowledge for it. When time comes for Wellness Wednesday, got to drop this bout in there. Come Wellness Wednesday, I'll be able to share some updated news between now and the next few weeks of how this is coming along, and how you can do it where you are at and in your space. I know some of you all already got your gardens that tune in, and some of you all are already working on the mental health and wellness of your family. And I know it's tough. It gets tough sometimes, but it does not mean that it's impossible to do. It's not impossible. Yes, it makes you have to have some thick skin when we are living in a place where most of our people are in a position of being um, um, deceived and enticed by the very things that's killing us, the very thing that's causing our minds not to be able to focus on that is good, that helps us to grow, that helps us to learn, that helps us to give back more than we take. And I mean where you are, and then abroad. I never forget, just a few years ago, I was wanting to give out food and fruits here to the homeless and different people. And don't believe the hype, you all. It can be done here. People do it all the time in the program. That's not something that's being blocked at all. But I got pushback. The spirit that I was with, I had to call it, did not want to even do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because all I was saying is that the community, that you have to give back something to them before you teach at them sometimes, because that's because they're in need. There's so many that's in need. So meaning it starts at home. You can do these things at home. And when you perfect it at home, then it makes it more easy for you to do it abroad. And it's not something that becomes so much of a challenge. You see what I'm saying? And that's in any good work that we do. So I like to encourage our people, everyone that's tuning in today, to whatever good work that God has placed within you, for you to continue to do it. Don't give up. Don't say, I got to go to another city. Yes, that is true in due time and due season for some of us. You may have to, for some. But for most of us, I think it's safe to say that you have to learn at home first. You can't be like a pouting toddler where just because you didn't get your sucker first, or just because you didn't get the recognition first or the hand clap first, you're going to pout and run away and cry and, cut a whole hissy fit, as they used to call it. We got to be more we got to be more mature than that, you all. We have to be more determined than that. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been at this for 30 something years now. Since preteen, we're working within the communities, working for the support of our people. And I still have in mind, even with this time gone by, I still have in mind what is the next good thing that I can get my hands in to do with the right people, the right time, the right spirits. Let me say that because it's plenty of work to be done, as we all know. And I know where you all are at, it's plenty of work to be done. But to do that with the right people, the right time, with the right spirit, take some wisdom. Take some wisdom from God. Take some good prayers to go out and for us to believe it so that we can receive it. And then once we receive it, we can achieve it. For real, for real. And so I'm at a place now to where I'm just thankful that I'm just able to be able to tune in. And yes, since more have tuned in now, I was going to wait a little bit to give a little bit more music, but I had to dive right on in while it was in my spirit, on my mind, to just go grab them. And there, anybody that missed what I did, I'm going to start now, where at least every maybe 15 minutes I'll update and say what any changes take place. And then I also have to remember to say state a prayer, you all, for Sister Jamaica. They are getting a lot of fire and different things out there in California, as you all know. Please keep her in prayer. um Welcome to the Ancient Kitchen by Jazz. Oh, I wonder if that's who I think that it is. Hey there, sis. Welcome to this by Jazz. Text me, inbox me at that 618-388, so I know, because I don't want to call out the name and it's not you. So let me know who is Jazz, because I know it's a couple of people that I know that go by that term. But yes, I want for you all to keep her in prayers because it has affected their respiratory system. And as you all know, she has two older special needs sons, and then Ninja Kid, the grandson, and her daughter. They're all out there, you all, and or else she would be here to chat. So that's the reason why, as a moderator, why she's not there. For those of you all that normally tune in, and you see that Sister Jamaica is not in as the moderator. So keep them in prayer that that their health and wellness, that they soar through this environmental hazard that they're having out there in California with the forest fires and this heat and all this change of weather. And it's happening, you all over. I just stated that last month, if you all can remember. And right then and there, maybe like within a couple of days, that's when I heard that Kenya was flooding. And then from there, I heard that other places were taking, and it's all of the areas, you all, if you think about it, where there's been much injustice that has been done towards our indigenous people and our melanated people and people all over, or where they have denounced God and they've tasted and put in so much of wickedness. If you notice, that's from a spiritual tip. If you notice, that's where, and so that calls for a lot of prayer, because we know we cannot change anything that's taking place that could be linked, more likely linked to a lot of us, what certain wicked people in high places are doing to not take care of the earth. Yeah, so there are some of us that get caught up in those calamities, like Lot, for instance. For those of you all that know the story about Lot, Lot and his son. Remember when they stated when God was going to come down and he was going to send the hellfire there to Sodom and Gomorrah, and then but Abraham prayed and said, "Okay, but my nephew there." Which leads me to say congratulations to my nephew Jeremy. He has given his life to God, and I saw him. He posted up. That's my firstborn nephew. The picture that I normally have back here of him that you all see, my nephew Jeremy. He was an MPV in school, just always all around bright young man, very respectable. But as you all know, when grandma passed, that took a toll on him. And so I asked prayer for him then. So now he's motivated again, y'all. He's motivated. And I had a nice, good talk with him. So that's just a little update and some more good news. And again, happy congratulations to all of the graduates that are accomplishing whatever it is, whatever field that you've gone into. I pray that God bless you all to do well and go forth in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yeshua, in the name of Allah, in the name of whoever God that you are serving this day that gets that inspires you to be able to be the best that you could be in this world today. Because I just don't think that none of us are in the place to where we can really truly afford to take anything for granted. No matter how you got to that positive place in your life or to that inspirational place in your life where you overcame anything so that you can be in a position where you can help your family, yourself, and your community. Y'all, that's something to be thankful for. And so I'm just thankful that my nephew, he was able to do that and post up some good things, because I knew how heavy the impact was major when my mother transitioned in 21, and it was devastating. I myself had to just take a walk. I literally had to take a long walk, and I zoned out for a bit because it didn't catch me off guard DNA wise and spiritual wise. I felt it. I saw it on her the last time I saw her. She lived out of town from me in Mississippi. And but it was still shocking that day because I was an hour away from her, trying to get close. But unfortunately, this is why I say it matters when life is happening, things transition, who you are with. It matters to you all. And that part, I just had this conversation with my sister, and she was expressing how she felt about spirits that was around her at the time that our mother transitioned. And I said, no, it was all of the above. We have to understand the one thing is for sure is that that life and death, there's going to be a birth and there's going to be a death or a passing away every second of the day, whether you realize it or not. Just open up the newspaper, go online and look up obituaries and see how many people leave here. We just don't acknowledge it until it hits home, until it's someone that's close to us. And we don't acknowledge other people having children until we see them out in the stores and we see them in the park. Oh, that pretty baby, until your daughter have their child, your son, your uncle, your cousin. You get the picture to yourself. Now all of a sudden, oh, look at all the many babies. And it's just the same feeling that we get when you get a new car or you get something. All of a sudden now you didn't notice all of these different Lexuses until you got yours. So I was trying to explain to her, no, it was important that we keep in mind that for the next time, because there will be someone else that transition from 9 times 10 before we do, that we keep in mind that we have to learn from prior to, from the loved ones that have passed on, how important it is for us to be around more positive energy. Be around those who really do love and respect family. Now, for those who are not demonically possessed, and when we was comparing notes, we realized that both of us was around individuals that was demonically possessed. And I know that she couldn't afford it because she's already sickly within her body. So I always keep my sister Joanna in you all's prayers. She's been battling on the thyroid Graves' disease for probably about a good 30 years now. And she does her best to try to eat healthy. And it's like, of course, if she's with me, then it's more easier. But at the same time, I could be that crutch because I'm big sis. And so that's why I say to you all, no, I understand on both ends, on the professional end of it, from the personal side of it. I've dealt with it in my marriage. I've dealt with it in with friends. I've dealt with it with the congregations that I've been a part of, where there's always been someone that's sick, and everybody deals with their own sicknesses in different ways. But you better know this much: if you are the go-to person in any shape, form, or fashion, or you are the strong one, as they say, you're the one that they rely on in any kind of way to be the help, then that means you got to girdle up your lungs and your breastplate of righteousness, and you really do have to call on God. You really got to have a prayer life. You really got to make sure that your force of people and that yours, they say, your tribe that's around you are able to encourage you in a time of need. I don't think I would have even have made it through all the many different tests that I've gone. I don't think I would have if I hadn't had so many leaders in my ears saying, no, this is just a test. No, you know now, and you see clear as day now what it was that you were being taken advantage of. You see clear as day now that you was being used. Okay, God is opening up a door for you to get yourself out of this mess, so get out of it. Walk out of it before it completely destroy you. Don't give Satan and your adversary no more room to just stomp and trump all over you. Don't allow them to get victory and glory and think that he is your breath or that they are your life force. Nobody is your life force but God. That's what I have to share with you all on this Motivational Monday. Nobody. And when you put it there, no man or no woman can make or break you. Even if your heart feel broken in that moment, even if you feel betrayed in that moment or have been, because I promise you it goes beyond the feeling when you got truth and you got facts and you got proof. You got proof that you were. With that being said, I'm you make it through that, but it is critical that you ask God, lead and guide me to the right people, because you better believe he uses us. That's why I always say, yes, each one teach one. And yes, I need you, you need me, we need one another, but not just one another. You need the right ones. Or may I say the righteous ones in those areas that you really need help in. And that doesn't mean that you have to become an entire crutch, because I know that's challenging. I know it is for me. I'm not used to relying on people. I'll be honest today. I put it out there. I'm the oldest grandchild. I'm the oldest daughter. I am the firstborn on many in many different ways, and the first to do a lot of things that others have not done that I know of in my family, no matter how large they are and how massive. And so I'm telling you now, that means that it is difficult for me to rely. So once I give that, and I know some of y'all feel me, some of y'all are there, once I give that over to a mate, or once I give that over to a company or business or a ministry, I expect for you to do right by it. Because that's like putting you right next to under God. Because I'm looking up to you. Like my siblings look up to me. They have no doubt that if any test came their way and I'm right there in the midst of, they know I'm finna speak for you. I'm getting ready. Nope. I'm getting ready to stand up for you. Nope. I'm not gonna let nobody just tear you down. And I don't care if it's the popo. I don't care. Did I say it right? Police, for those who all that don't know that term. I'm sure you all that still did do. But for those who might tune in later, they know that I got them. My nephew calls, the friends, somebody says, ma'am, can you help me? I got you. That's the thing of being firstborn, or being one that's been placed in any type of leadership response. The responsibility falls on you. So that means I could never be partaking someone that shucks their responsibility, or that's whining every time when hard times come, that's ready to run, every trying to duck and hide and throwing rocks. And I could never be with that for no long period of time, or hiding behind a title or a label. job, money, ministry. I can never be a part of that for a long period of time at all. It will only be a lesson until I get to my blessing. And that's how you all have to position yourselves for those of you all that may ever encounter that if you haven't already. You don't constantly beat yourself up and tell yourself that you can't make it through the storm. You can't. None of us are supposed to put our all, our everything. And I know we said it sounds beautiful. Oh, they love you to death. No, love me to life. Because when I'm dead, I can't feel your love. When I'm dead, I can't show you how much I love you. You're under there now. You're in another place. Yes, your spirit lives on. But the body is not there. The face is not there. The ears is not there where I can physically see and say, hey, sister, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you. Hey, brother, I see you. I know how much I appreciate you. No, you say that now. We say, give my flowers now while I live. Oh, I'm so thankful that I can say that I was able. Oh, that's a beautiful thing that I can, even though when I get sad and I start to missing my mom and my daddy, I'm so thankful that I gifted them while they were alive. I'm so thankful that I gave them a lot of credit while they was alive, because I wouldn't have made it. So yes, my heart goes out to who was the trouble kids and the ones who had friction with their parents. Yes, because I know that's a lot to carry. The only thing that I carry is that I wish I was there right there in enough time so I could just grab my mama and hold her and say, Mama, I got you. I got you, Mama. That all I can hear is the voice of the Lord saying that I made her. You didn't make her. I made her. I gave her to you for an appointed time. She still belonged to me. Not just to you. She belonged to me first. She was my firstborn daughter. She was your first mother, but she was my firstborn creation. And when you understand it from that place, it doesn't matter how much you boo-hoo and cry when ain't nobody around or when somebody is around. I allowed myself, as even though I'm a counselor, I allowed myself to be human. And there's been a couple of times when I'm on the phone with my sister and I hear them because I know they're so used to me being so strong. They used to me keeping it so together, but no, I let them hear it on purpose so that they understand that no, it's okay to cry. It's okay to even get upset sometimes. But after you get that out the way, after you feel all that dirt, after you feel all that weight weighing you down, you still got to say, now, thank you, Lord. Just thank you, God, for the time that you did give me with her. You still got to get to a place to where you say, well, thank you, Father, that I had a mother that dressed me. Thank you, Father, that I had a mother that fed me what she could. I thank you, Father, for the mother, having a mother that taught me what it really truly meant to love. I thank you, Father, for blessing me to have a father that was strong, that was a strong Black man, that taught me what it meant to make a firstborn daughter or just a child, all the children around you feel loved. Everybody didn't have that. I thank you, Father, I knew who my daddy was. That's big, y'all. For those who didn't have it, you can still say, I thank you, Father, that my mother didn't just support me, even though life can get so tough, so hard sometimes that I'm not sure that I want to be here. But to be in a thankful place, you have no room. If you're in a thankful place, when those thoughts come to test you and oppress you and to make you feel lonely, to make you feel like life ain't fair and it ain't always going to be. Yes, I said it like I meant it ain't. I said ain't. Then I promise you something, that dopamine, that feeling, that spirit of God that's in you, that energy, that being within you will start getting encouraged, because you cannot be thankful and ungrateful at the same time. You can't. That's the reason why I practice on taking away that but X is out. No, don't give me the behind. Don't put it behind me. Now let it stay right there and say, and I miss my mama and my daddy and my grandparents. And I'm thankful for my aunties and my uncles and my family and my children. Oh, Father, a man that's jacked up that, oh, my marriage didn't last that long because of the wicked people in high places and the lust of the flesh, the lust of the pride of life, and the deceitfulness of this social media. And I'm thankful that I did not, neither one of us put anyone 6 feet under, or got them locked up and placed in jail, or cussing and fussing every 5 seconds about what you did to me and what how I retaliated. See how that worked? Oh, you know what? I'm not happy that I'm not at the weight or the size that I want to be in. I'm not happy that my job is not paying me what I really wanted to pay me. I'm not happy that the business is not taking off the way I wanted. Oh, I'm getting really discouraged about this ministry because some of these people act like nothing but the devil. And I'm thankful that I have the strength and the prayer life and the faith to keep pressing on no matter what. And I'm thankful that you're helping me to learn that this is part of patience, love, kindness, endurance to the end. See how that works? Life is about balance, is what I'm learning, you all, and I'm just sharing it with you all because I know some of you all that tune in, you know it, but I don't think that we could ever be reminded enough. I don't think that we could ever be reminded enough. One of the reasons why I believe that I had to go through so many different tests is not just not focusing on exactly where my adversary was at, where the wolf in sheep clothing was at, but because when you live a life to where you've always gotten used to most of the time, 99% of the time, of being the good person, being the spiritual person, sometimes we can get this wool over our eyes and we think they're all like you're gonna be floating and no harm may ever come to you, no dog will ever try to attack you, no snake will ever try to bite you. Yeah. And that's the wake-up call. That no, the dog wants fresh meat. The pit bull needs to assert his energy, the ones that's been taught to be aggressive, to let you know that I'm the king dog. The snake, the cobra snake, got to let you know that, hey, this is my territory. You walked in my territory. Let me bite you. And it's only when you get bit that you learn that that's an area that I don't need to be walking in. That's an area right there where them dogs are not on the chain. That's an area right there where it ain't got nothing but cobra snakes. Let me go down this path. It causes you to be more aware. Causes you to get more better prepared if you do have to go down there. You know what? Let me put me on some pants. Yeah, you know, I'm using this as an example of how we get our breastplate of righteousness, how we armor up when these tests come. Oh, it's a storm coming. Store and stock up your food. If I don't know how to jar, get on YouTube and learn how to jar. I think I'm going to do it. I'm waiting for a gadget, you all. And I may need another one because I had so much I had to store up and so much I had to give away. And when you know how it is when you're packing up things, you know, people put your stuff all over in different places. And so they mean well. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I had the help that I had. But at the same time, I realized there was so much that I could not find. And so, you know, they have the new gadgets now where it help you to learn how to jar your food. And it seeps out the excess air so that the shelf life can be kept longer. Well, when I get a chance to do that, I look forward to possibly on the Wellness Wednesday and showing you all how to seal it. But for now, you all can still go to YouTube and learn how to do that because it's coming, you all. I know a lot of us getting tired of hearing different ones talking about how you got to stock up, you got to store, you got this, you got that. It's because warning always comes before destruction. I tell you something. I was one that I listened to our elder, Leon Smith, when he would say, y'all, the time is coming where some of y'all are going to see you having to take a mark. Some of y'all are going to have to see where you're going to have to stand in soup lines, and you're going to have to be patient, and that'll be your only meal for the day. And I just remember at 12, 13 years old, listening, hearing him say this, and what the service that they called it was sanctioned instructions. Or sometimes he would get a chance to speak first for Bible study before the pastor came out. And he would just be telling us where the times that was about to come. You talked about the cell phone. It's talking about everything that wasn't there. And and this would have been just only in late 80s, early 90s. And I would be sitting back listening and taking notes. And I took notes so much to where the secretary of the service would ask me to come. She said, "Okay, you got good penmanship. Come over here so I can teach you how to do this, do these books, so that I can teach you how to do this and do that." Sister Ruth Houston, we call her Sister Terry. She's a longtime family friend. And she did, and she didn't play. She was a true perfectionist. And I was like, man, I was wondering why she didn't pick anybody else. But now I know. 30 some years later, now I know. I understand now. From the age of 15, 16, 17, 18, when she had me as her assistant, I understood why it was important that I jot down. So even though some of the notes I don't have anymore, they're locked into my head, y'all. Because remember, with that index finger, that pressure point. But I'll show y'all gonna remember. I say that it goes right up to that temple, right there to the brain, where it gets locked in. And this is the reason why it's important that we all not just only tap, tap, tap away on these laptops, these computers that's eventually going to have a glitch and shut down, eventually. But that you continue to write. There is a healing, there is a science behind actually memory locks in better when you're writing. It's the reason why they want to get rid of it, you all. They can't control all of your paper, all of your notes that you have. See the little notes and stuff I have? I have so many books and things that I just jot down back and forth, writing all over. I keep about 7 to 8 different books. I would just be thumbing through because I know it's something that I charted down. That's just how much I write. And I'm like, because I know the time is coming that whatever wicked people in high places control, that they could be here today and gone tomorrow. That's like flicking on the light. I wish I was by a light switch. We flick it on, like, see how fast that happened? Cut it off. Cut it on. Cut it off. Cut it off. That's how they're trying to play with our spirits and our minds, which automatically means our whole souls. And so because we live in this time where we're actually seeing it like our late Elder Leon Smith would teach, I'm in no position, you all, to ever come before you all playing games about it, acting like we're not here. Everything that this man said and prophesied came to pass. We're living in it now, where we may not be in the soup line, but it's other people in other countries that is. Well, we may not have gone to war just yet. We're in a different kind of war. We're in the stages of it. Over in Palestine, they are. And these people have to be able to migrate, you all. So meaning the spirit of all of that that's taking place, we're going to be living amongst it no matter where you are in the world. Unless you go underground, since there is life under the water. Yeah, I said it. It's so much that we all can't share. Not because I'm afraid of getting censored. I don't get paid by YouTube no way. I'm thankful that I don't have that as a test. Yes, the funds would be great. I know exactly where I'll put it in. I'll put it into my mental boost. I'll be putting it into my advanced multivitamin. I will put it into my sea moss. I'll put it into my colon cleanse, my B12, my elderberry. I'll be putting it and reinvest. I'll be giving it away to the children that needs it. That's handicapped. I'll be giving it to our homeless elders. So of course the money would be great. But I've stood this ground of it because I see the gains, because I see the manipulation that's taking place. And yes, I said that word exactly the way I meant to say it. I know it's critical it's critical that I do it in the righteous way, that I do it without having to worry about nobody being able to come back and say that, hey, I slept in the bed to be able to get this, that, oh, I lied on 10 applications in order to get this, or I did this and I did that. That was to where it can't be taken away at all this time. To where, oh, well, I got tricked and bamboozled into this in my sleep. Y'all just know, when you have something great and a beautiful gift called love and well-being residing down within your heart, residing in your spirit, Satan wants that. Those who are in, unfortunately, the darkest place, doesn't mean that they can't be delivered, but it doesn't always mean neither that that will be your assignment. But in the meanwhile, being in the proximity of that type of darkness can a lot of times try to overshadow the light in you. I lived it. I know what I'm talking about. I've gone through it time and time and time again. And all I remember thinking to myself was thinking, God, why me? And eventually, after some years passed of going through the same tests, I heard him say, why not you? I know what I created in you. I know that you would get to this place to where you will start speaking to our people and saying, don't give up. Don't give in. You can make it. Not just if you try, but when you just do it. No matter how low in the gutter, as they say, gutter of the uttermost, that you may feel like you're in, or that you feel like your child may be in, or your mate may be in, or your mother or your father may be in. I have to inspire y'all to get this relationship with God that you hear people talk about. We're talking about it because it's real. How many have tested and tried good tasting food and it just stayed amongst you? Nobody else, even though it's a whole platter, it's a whole bar of good food, good tasting food just sitting there, and only you are the testimony that the food is good. No, everybody that try it is going to say, you know what? Yeah, that was some good food. That really tasted good. That's how you know that is real. Everybody in different situations and all across the world ain't going to be saying the same thing and it not be nothing to it. This is not an insurance. This is not Allstate insurance either. This is not that. This is not the next sharp sports car. It's not that. They have a shelf life. They're not making classics that much no more outside of the Rolls Royce, which by the way, hey cousin, when my granddaddy just had the birthday, was Rolls Royce. He left one as an heirloom to the family. I gotta go try to ride that in Chi-Town real soon. But they're not making that many more classics anymore, y'all. Times are changing. Times are different. And we need something that Satan can't take away, and that is your belief. It really truly can't take away what's in your mind and spirit when you say, I believe in God, that he is my refuge. He can't take that away, really. You got to give that away. What's the problem? What's the perfect example? How many people have been locked up in prison and came out, and they actually came out and was successful? And I know, yeah, the numbers are really high for those who could turn out to be the revolving door, 70, 80%. But my God, that 20 is powerful. That 20% is influential. That 20% lets you know that there is a God. That 20% lets you know that it is possible, that it can be done. That's all I need to know, is that it can be done. That's all we need to know, is that you can lose the weight. You can get a healing for your mental issues and problems that you're having. You can go through whatever form of exorcism that you need to release those demonic forces that's against you or that's in you. You can break a generational curse. You can. Because it has been done before. Well, I don't know nobody reminding everybody I know is going through. That means change your environment. This easier said than done, isn't it? But it can be done. And I meant to say but with that. Yeah, I meant to X that out. It can be done. It has been done. It will be done again. Why not make sure that it is done by you? Why not make sure it's not done by me? It says that we overcome by one another's testimony. I believe it and I receive it. No, I don't feel like this every second minute of the second of the hour of the day. Absolutely not. But it goes to show you that when that spirit drops down within my mind and in my soul, just how much powerful it is, because now I still have gone 7 days before I didn't come before you for the last Motivational Monday. I've gone 2 weeks and I'm still making it by the grace of God. And so if I can, you can too. I'm a believer of that. I don't have to see you overcome or have to get that text or that email and say, you know what, but it is a beautiful thing to do so. For let me share with you all. For those of you all that's overcoming things on Motivation Monday and you'll like your testimony, share it. And if you want an abbreviation or your nickname or something that's called, let me know. I would love to start sharing that. I would love whatever it is, whether it was sickness, whether it was that you was in a bad relationship, whether it was that you overcame and you was going through trying to get some education to be able to do better for your family, whatever it was that was a hardship. If you start sharing it in a little bit of testimony, or if you want to call in and say, look, I got a testimony. Yeah, I would love to start sharing this on Motivational Monday, because it's not just me. Yes, I clearly have a lot that I could share that can absolutely be an inspiration to some. And I only say some lightly because everybody can't relate. Some people can relate. That's what makes us related. That's the reason why so many say my brother, my sister, because we feel like it's somewhere in our life we are relating to each other. That's the reason why I don't believe in people saying, you know what, I know them, but I don't have a relationship with them. No, if you know them and you've hung with them and you've been around and you talk to them, that is a relationship. What kind of relationship can only be determined by what kind of relationship you have with them. How are you relating to them? When are you on board on that ship with them? So we can't use that. Technically, we cannot use that. However, I'm one that I want to be able to inspire and encourage us to make sure that we're intentional about making sure that we're relating to one another from a truthful, powerful, encouraging, motivating, God-filled way of living and loving on one another. And yes, love shows up in many different forms of that's able to push you and press you to get to the best place that you need to be in your life. I promise you all, I didn't have a script. Once again, I come before you all, and even though I have all these notes and all that, that's for other things. Every blue moon, I can write down I can write down a little saying or something for the year. Like, remember to be healthy and revived in 2025. I can write that. This is my little notes, my little chicken stretch note. I'm like, okay, I think I might use that. But 9 out of 10, by the time 25 get here, I might forget it. And then I have to go back to it again and say, I remember that I wrote down something in one of these, what's called, I jotted that down. Y'all, let's start jotting it down. If you can't remember, I share this. Some of you all to know that have gotten health coaching from me, or just coaching in general. that a lot of times I'll say, if you're going to forget if you're going to forget to prep your food to send it out with, then write a note and get a little sticky note, spend that little dollar, go to they good for that, go to Dollar Tree or $2 Tree, whatever it's called now, and write it on there. Remember to get your lunch bag. Remember to grab this. Remember to get your It helps. Put it by the door. Whatever you got to do to help you to remember, and don't forget it. This way, it'll help you. Repetition help you to remember what's most important in your life. Don't be afraid and ashamed to do it. And with that being said, I'm also inspired and really want to share it. Oh, congratulations to Sister Jessica. My God, made it through the storm and the rain. I can't go into full detail. I told her I'll let her go ahead and share that. And I believe she's going to look for it, even if I have to get her to come one day and right after work and just sit right here beside me, because she's been a long time client, but most definitely dear friend as well. She has this big, tremendous heart of hers, and God just blessed her to be able to come through a lot. And I'm like, oh, Father, I said, man, she called me yesterday saying the good news. She used to chime in sometimes, but this is her work schedule time. And she said, I got some good news. She said, I got some good news. I said, oh. I said, well, she said, well, it's good to me. I said, well, if it's good to you, then it's got to be good to me. And she just kept saying, I got some good news. I got some good news. And I said, well, do share, do share, do share. She said, prayers that God answer prayers. I told him, show me, give me a sign of what I need to do in this heavy situation that I had. And she said, and he gave it to me. And now eyes free. Can I use that term, eyes free? From time to time, y'all know I like to use the runaway slaving, because to me that's very symbolic of us getting away from any type of entrapment, anything that come to bound you. Even though using now I see the reverse psychology game is that the ones that's usually trying to do the bounding and entrapment, they act like they the ones that was getting bound and entrapped, when actually I believe they were the slave masters that was trying to bound you. I've never seen nothing like it before in my life, where reverse psychology, boy, boy, that's a wicked game right there. I say it's okay to use that when you want trying to get somebody to help themselves, but to use that and you act like you're the victim and somebody wronged you and you were the one that actually did the wrong. Oh my God. That right there is still baffling to me at times. Y'all, we have to get to a place to where we have to understand that full accountability helps you to grow, helps you to heal. It helps you to, I promise you, I've been there in my life where there were certain things that were brought to my attention because I'm focusing on children and I'm focusing on helping. So it's the most hardest to get some of us sometimes. Let's just keep it 1 million. It's hardest for us, those who's always waking up, going to sleep, praying, and waking up wanting to do something good. It's hard for us to see any wrong. Realistically, so think about it. Because your mind, what's in your frontal lobe, is constantly thinking about the good that you're trying to do. So you never think about nothing that could have been possibly harmful to the other, not much. Until somebody say, you know what, that offended me. Well, you know what, yeah. And at that time, that is where accountability kick in. You know what, I didn't think about it like that. I didn't see it like that. That was not my intention. Please forgive me. I will aim to do better the next time. That is where we're supposed to be in order to open up the door, you all, for real healing. This is the reason why I'm able to still come before you all a year later after my firstborn daughter transition, a year later, 2 years later after my mother transitioned. And within that frame of time, after several cousins have transitioned from all over, from different states to states, from Texas and Decatur, from all over, from Chicago, from all over. Because this is my every prayer, and I pray that I'll be able to encourage you all to do the same. Always keep God first. We hear it a lot because it's important. It's the most important because we cannot do this by ourselves. We clearly wasn't made up to take on this type of 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 wickedness. We wasn't. That's the reason why. Remember, you see everybody hollering, "I'm Hebrew. I'm this. I'm an Israelite. I'm Israelite." Well, then that means the ones that went through, if you believe that there was a prophetic thing that was spoken of, because some don't believe, but for those of y'all that historically and biblically believe that the 400 years of slavery, that we are those people that are here in America, then that means this is where the deliverance needs to take place. That means that for those of us who are part of that and are the descendants of that, then that means that work has to be done with us, and that we that's from here should not be in any shape, form, or fashion trying to proclaim to be anything else but those who are the chosen. Are you the chosen few? No, he didn't tell us to go nowhere else. He told us to be here, that he would deliver and bring us out of here. And that didn't mean you do it yourself. That meant that there was something that was divine that was going to take place. That is, at least that's my understanding, that was going to have us in a way where we wasn't going to be in a place where we let the blind lead the blind and then they all fall in the ditch. I'm big on that one right there. And look, I take out my glasses and I look. Well, such and such said that we come out here, we can get $1 million, and we're going to be able to get on the Oprah Winfrey show, and we're going to be able to see Steve Harvey, and we're going to be able to do this and do that. I'm just using it as an example, you all. Right away, I started assessing who was the source and what do they have to gain by us leaving our entire family and our children to do this. What is their relationship with God? How do they treat their wife? How do they treat their children? I don't mean the pictures. I don't mean what you put out here on social media. I mean behind closed doors. See, y'all, you can't be so thirsty to you you want that looks greener on the other side and forget about that there is what they call fake grass. And the picture can't capture whether or not it's fake or not. AI is doing a grand of a job. Some of us are. I see how AI came about because we got such a strong illusion, and especially us as melanated people got such an artistic mind. We know how to make anything fake look real. Anything. I had a AI picture I put up, and even though it kept my real face and everything, and how I would wear my hair, I looked at things. I just did it just to see for myself. I was amazed just how much it looked like me. And I'm looking like, my God. This is how we are able to be deceived by people, you all. This is how we're able to be deceived. Greetings, brother. Greetings. This is how we're able to be deceived. If AI and artistic animated through the internet can make you look like you from another country and from somewhere else, and take away every scar and every blemish and make your hair look beautiful and make your smile look perfect. Think about who created that. Who regenerated that? We did that, y'all. Somebody said we didn't do it, it was aliens. A being did that then. Let's go there. A being did that. A living being did that. Let's go there. So they go to show you just how easily it would be for us to be manipulated. And it brings me to a scripture that stated that in the last days, that it said that if God hadn't, something miraculous hadn't taken place with the return of what we believe to be our Savior, that the very elect would be deceived, y'all. That means the most wisest would be deceived. So then it leads with the question, who am I? I don't consider myself the most wisest. I wish. But I do know I have some wisdom that's been passed down to me from my elders that's been given to me by God. And I'm merely sharing the sprinkle of wisdom and the sprinkle of knowledge that I have received with you all. That's how I view it. And as time goes, as I grow to learn more, to help my brothers, my sisters, and those who God placed in my vicinity, within my reach, then I'll be forever just most grateful and thankful that I was able to help you all. It's just that simple for me. Nothing extravagant. I didn't ask for $1 billion or for $1 million to do this. And I know I get some of my spiritual money hungry from yeah, the Bible says you have not because you ask not. Yeah, that's true. But the focal point is where will your heart be? Because we know the teaching teaches that also, that it would be hard for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heavens. However way you interpret that. And I have to say it like that because there are those of us who believe in heaven that's in the sky, a place that's beyond here where a fleshly body cannot enter. And then there's those of us who believe in heaven here on earth. I'm speaking to both. How can you do that, Dr. Chef? You need to make a decision. I did. I made a decision to speak to both. Whatever you loose on earth, you loose in heaven. Whatever you bound on earth, you bound in heaven. Some people, heaven is just in the mind. And that's where they hold their peace. That surpasses all of your understanding. Wherever you think heaven is, let me say it like that. And I can't stop talking like that, you all, because it's just the way I believe God has given it to me. Everybody have their own unique way that they do what they do. This is mine. And until wisdom, some other knowledge and wisdom come along and say, okay, well, it's time for you to change or to do it this way because this way would be best, then I'm open for that too. But in the meanwhile, I'm saying that we have to guard, that we have to know for a fact and accept the fact that we live in a time where strong illusions is taking place in our lives and is set to lead and guide you down the wrong path. Everything, we all grew up here. Everything that look good ain't good for you. You need to try the spirit by the spirit. But when that spirit seems like it is the spirit of God, because they've learned how to mimic or they learned how to AI you, that's easier said than done. What we need to be, what needs to be done is that we need to start praying and really asking God to help us, that once this illusion come about, that you help my eyes to be open so that I can see that I'm being what you call hoodwinked, that I'm being tricked, I'm being bamboozled, so that I can be led out of the fire, out of the furnace, out of this trouble, out of Sodom and Gomorrah, out of these wicked places, out of the hands of evil men, out of the hands of wicked women. Oh yeah, we got both. We got both. I'm just thankful that God blessed me to not have a desire to be a wicked woman. And I mean that from my whole soul. And so I'm saying this to say, y'all, be encouraged, not just motivated, even though motivation, I told you, I broke it down before, it just means to move something, make it work. It's an action word. Motivate. It's within the mind that I got to make something happen that's good, not to motivate you to do something that's bad, but to motivate you to do something that's righteous. Be that light that you want to see in the world today. is what I love, those little simple sayings like that, because it's something that can be accomplished. You be that in your family. If you can't see it in your mate, you can't see it outside, you can't see it on your job, you can't see it with your business, then that means it's left up to you to be it. Note that greetings. It's so good to see you all tuning in. Please like and share for those who are. And just remember, I'm gonna make this announcement now. I'm press pause. You all have until this Friday to schedule your health session or your counseling session for whatever is ailing you mentally or spiritually or emotionally, not just for how to eat to live, but for that is causing any form of anxiety and stress. For those of you all that know that you are already part of coaching sessions and that you're not new clients, then you all know that you have the open window to still call in for yourself and family. But for those of you all that are new, that have not never scheduled a coaching session, I will, as of right now, it doesn't look like I will be able to take on any new clients of health coaching until September because of my schedule is majorly changing. I am working on several different projects. When September comes, and as you all know, that's usually what we call quote unquote flu season. When flu season come back around, I have more to be able to offer you all, but I do need to have that mental time and space. And I know and I believe and trust that you all fully understand, because for those of y'all that's already had counseling session before, usually when I say 30 minutes, it can easily turn into an hour depending on what it is that's going on in your life. I don't like being so robotic and so quote unquote professional to the point to where you just feel like, oh, I've got all answers within 30-minute session for $50 or an hour for $75 or for whatever amount of dough. If you're doing your monthly, you're spending your couple of $100s because you want your weekly consultation for your family for its health or wellness or mental health or spiritual. I don't want our people ever feeling like that you're just another project or that you're just another client. No, you're my brothers, my sisters, you're my heart, and I love you all dearly. Not just because you tune in here, but because God made you. God created you all. And I mean that. I get choked up and I put my shades back on. God made you all. And that's enough for me. And if he made you for a good purpose, that's everything to me. And I'm the restorer in that sense, to where I like being able to see the masterpiece that God created within us, and and seeing that little crack or that little crevice or this little area right here where I just need some inspiration. I just need some prayer. I just need a different perspective in order to get me over this hump. I just need this regimen. I just need you to focus on that to help me to get through college, Dr. Shep. I need this and that in order to help me to be able to get through this marriage. What happened in yours that made yours fall apart? Where am I messing up at? I promise you, God bless me where I'll be able to help you. I'll be able to help you. Because that's how much God loves you. That he allowed me to be able to go through the storm, the rain, the fire, the brimstone. To maybe get to a place where I can fully empathize, fully understand your pain, fully understand just how challenging this is, whether it be male or female, whether it be a family, whether it be a couple, whether you be single, whether you be young or whether you be old, whether you be middle age, or may I say stage. Okay, y'all. I am done. And I love the numbers that's showing up. This is a perfect number. I just love you all so dearly. And I'm so thankful that everybody that got in there, they got your shipments in. So I don't have to worry about that. Note that, yes, you all can still call in for a shipment. Even though it's Motivational Monday, it helps to have energy. I still have an extra order of B12 in, you all, for $40. Remember, your proceeds go towards helping our autistic children and our homeless elders, so that they can be able to be on their regimens, because their consultations do take a bit longer. I also still have elderberry drops for for immune boosting the system. I have some of the purest form, and these are 2-ounce bottles. And then I still have a few left, y'all. That's about to run out again of advanced multivitamin. Anybody that's interested in being an investor, let me know, so that way you can have yours for you and your family, and we can talk from there. You can still call the 618-388-8100 number via text. I can see that first, and if you don't get through the first time, please try again. Be patient with me. I plan to be with you. And the mental boost as well for those who have memory issues. We have this, and I'm going to say that's $65 for the mental boost and for the advanced multivitamin that's loaded, no artificial flavors, colors, anything that most people are allergic to. I still have sea moss in, 30-day supply of your 102 minerals. That's good for, oh my God, everything under the sun, known for being the mucus destroyer, the purple kind, which is the most potent. Yes, I know a lot of y'all are down with the golden retriever, but and that's good. That's good, but not more powerful than the purple. In my professional thought and frame and experience, notice I didn't say opinion. I said in my experience, the purple supernatural sea moss purple powder is more potent and more active. And I know because things are taking place with me for the week that I've been taking it that I hadn't seen since I was a teenager. And then I still have a colon cleanse, and the sea moss is $40, you all. And I do ship from state to state. And then also the colon cleanse is also still the market, very high demand. This is the 30, anywhere from 21 to 30-day supply. Taking a few down times a day. This is good for help cleansing out the guts and parasites and all different type of old fecal matter that for those of you all that want to lose some waste and clear up your skin, your eyes, your vision, your everything with the colon cleanse. But back to the sea moss. Yes, I have to incorporate this, you all, because I know my time is running short, and I've been asked why come I don't show my products doing Motivational Monday, seeing that I'm only on Wellness Wednesday and every blue moon on Fitness or Fruitful Friday. But that's going to change soon, you all. As I go in, lift up from some of the consultations, then that automatically leaves a little bit more room for me to come before you all a little more. At least that's my plan and my prayer. But what I mean by what's taking place with the sea moss, you all, and I know you all know about it, got your gel. Maybe out here, I'm like, I have hair growing more, hair getting thicker, hair growing on my toes, hair growing. I know some of y'all like, ugh, all that hair, it's summertime. But I had to try because I'm like, I hadn't had to deal with that since, oh my goodness, since I was a teenager. And then I was like, the energy, I could feel my muscles, that's the 102 minerals that the muscles give. I usually have a little bit more back strain if I hadn't gotten no massage or no real good stretch out. And it's working it out, y'all. I'm loving these, clearing up my skin even more. My vision, remember I told y'all, now it's so cool. Now these are just some little cute little glasses that I got from which one I like them because they hit the little hearts, y'all. You can see it. And they were different. So I just grabbed these. This was my only little birthday gift for myself, y'all. Only. As you all know, my grandson Kareem took up the rest of that. Anywho, I started the sea moss because I noticed I was starting to get blurred vision. Like I'm looking now and I can see the Happy Motivational Dog doing like this. I was starting to get more blurred vision, you all, by looking into this laptop longer than what I was accustomed to. And I've always said that since I've been tuning in since 2021, since 2020, you all. And so that was always a concern of mine. Well, I started taking it just for the vision, but then I started noticing all the other things that it was doing. And I knew that it would do it because it's on the back I have it printed on the back of it. And I get the testimonies from those who have been taking it. So I know it's good. And who was that? Sister Jamaica, I think that was. And don't forget you all to say a prayer for her and her family. They're in that area of the, I announced it early on. They're in the area of California where they're having the fires and storms and things of that nature, and that's not good for their respiratory system. So keep Sister Jamaica and her entire family in prayers, please. She did text me and let me know that that's the reason why you all don't see her moderating in the chat. So I wanted to make sure that I said that again while it was on my spirit and my memory. do that. She said, good evening, Dr. Shep. Unfortunately, due to high winds and fires, allergies have flared up really bad, along with headaches. Please allow me some healing time. This is tough because I rarely get ill. FYI, I sent you a message. So there you go, you all. Sister Jamaica, keep her in your prayers and her entire family. She's a very healthy woman. But once again, because of not taking care of Mother Nature, you all, this is what happens, and it does have an effect on our bodies. No matter how healthy we are, you still have to try to guard. So I'm going to do my best to give her a call afterwards and let her know, or preferably give her some advice with what she can do to help cleanse the lungs, for things like that, and how you can filter out the system, even with water filters for you all that don't know. So yeah, I got to just throw that in there, even though I know it's Motivational Monday, because it's hard to get motivated to do work and when you're ill. All right. So you gotta keep that in mind. So that's part of it. You have to be motivated just to stay healthy. Yeah. Uh-huh. And so we cannot X that out. They all go together. And so that's what I want to share. So just keep in mind that when you all purchase the products and call in for consultation, that helps me to be able to come before you all to pay for the internet, to pay for lights, to pay for everything that I go through too, a little bit at a time, not a whole lot, because I still have other things that I have to try to do in order to fund things. But I say 80-90% go towards the products, and then 20% to 30% will go to giving, which may even really be close to 40% now that I think about it, goes towards giving to the homeless, and then to the children with autism and disabilities. This way, when the parents are falling short, because as you all know, a lot of them be on fixed income, I could just go ahead and send them without it hurting me so bad, or having to try to raise prices so high just so I can be able to continue to keep the product line going for you all. You all know it's always more challenging when it's your first year of pressing for it in the business aspect of anything. And I do believe that I'll be able to, by the help and grace of God and some of you all, that I will most definitely be able to continue, because I don't have a mind to give up. Y'all motivated to keep doing the good work and the will of God. And I hope that I've done due justice with praying and inspiring you all to do the same. Know that I love you all, and I have to tune out, y'all, because I got some more work to do. All right. I love you all. Be blessed. Please be blessed. And I look forward to seeing you all tuning in on this Wellness Wednesday at 5 p.m. All right. I love you all. Peace, love, and good health. Okay.